Program Director, Minister of Transport, Mr. Fikile Mbalula in absentia, IMO Secretary General, His Excellency Mr. Kitak Lim, Your Excellencies, Ministers of Transport, Heads of Delegations, Excellencies, High Commissioners and Ambassadors, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Acting Chairperson and Honorable Members of the Portfolio Committee of Transport, Chiefs and Captains of the maritime industry, DGs and senior managers across 3 spheres of government, our permanent representative at IMO, Mr. Mbata, distinguished guests, our esteemed sponsors and exhibitors, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, fellow South Africans. I greet you once more in the last day of the World Maritime Day Parallel Event 2022, held here in the port city of Durban in our beautiful country of South Africa. The land of our late stalwarts, Chief Albert Luthuli, Reverend Langalibalele Dube Umafuguzelo Mnyamo Njengezulu, our late founding father Nelson Mandela, the land of Dorothy Nyembe, the land of Inkosi Shaka Zulu, and still the land of more than 60 million South Africans. Program Director, I stand here today on behalf of the government of South Africa to convey our deepest appreciation to everyone who descended to these shores in the last 3 days to be part of history. In years to come, history will be written that during the October Transport Month of 2022, various men and women came to South Africa to craft solutions about adoption of new technologies for green shipping in the maritime sector. We all agree with the 2016 United Nations Conference on Trade and Development resolution that maritime transport is the backbone of globalization. It lies at the heart of cross-border transport networks that support supply chains and enable international trade. In so doing, it brings together consumers and intermediate capital goods, industries, and promote regional and international economic and trade integration. Esteemed delegates, we all also agree that we have found ourselves meeting here in South Africa to witness the continuous unfolding of the International Maritime Organization objective of creating the World Maritime Day to celebrate the international maritime industry's contribution towards the world's economy, with a distinct focus on international shipping, with core elements on the protection of the marine environment, shipping safety, and maritime security. Hence, the chosen theme of this World Maritime Parallel Event of 2022, titled New Technologies for Greener Shipping, which reflects the need to support a green transition of the maritime sector into a sustainable future while leaving no country behind. The importance of green shipping in supporting and sustaining today's global society makes it indispensable to the world, as it does have direct linkage in addressing challenges to achieve sustainable development goals. The theme allowed for a range of activities to delve into specific topics related to promotion of inclusive innovation and uptake of new technologies to support the needs for a greener transition of the maritime sector, especially in the context of developing countries. As per the IMO's objective, the maritime sector, which includes shipping, ports, and the people that operate them, can and should play a significant role in helping member states to create conditions for increased employment, prosperity, and stability ashore through promoting trade by sea enhancing the port and maritime sector as wealth creators, both on land and through developing sustainable blue economy at sea. Hence, our national South African objectives for hosting the 2022 World Parallel event were to participate in the continuous development of South African maritime sector story, interact and craft solutions for the world maritime sector, unlock the potential of the South African ocean economy, share the South African maritime experience and achievements, open up possible collaborations and partnerships from a global and regional perspective. The deliberations have challenged us as countries, as has clearly indicated that we have work to do, lots of work. We really need to go back to the drawing board and identify how policy posture and disposition relate to the immediate challenges that we are currently facing and would face moving forward. I have no doubt that the papers delivered and the deliberations that ensued will enrich the intellectual depository that the IMO keeps updating, more particularly considering that some of the topics are fairly new, especially to developing countries. Because the platform gave us an opportunity to exchange ideas, the result will certainly be of shared benefits amongst us all. Although the focus was not really to highlight national matters, but the program did give us an opportunity to expose to you the capacity we have as a country in the areas of research, industry, and in education. We have highlighted our growing industries for building world-class vessels, boats, ship rigs, including the dry docks we have for ship repair, as well as great strides we are making in ship-to-ship fueling. All these services are at the world's disposal to use. We are mindful of the fact that some of the items on the program are still a subject of negotiations at the IMO and other global platforms, and therefore the views that may have been expressed would not necessarily be official positions. Of prime importance is that we are in agreement on the greening of ships, but still need to extensively discuss the how of implementing it. We understand, nevertheless, that the proposals made have expressed advanced thinking towards sustainability and provided clarity, so that as we continue to negotiate, we would appreciate the benefit derived from the ideas that were expressed here. While I may not wish to reopen discussions on any of them, I still wish to say they remain a rich food for thought. Just to reflect on few proposals rising from the high-level discussion by heads of delegations, we propose that going forward we need to promote green shipping. IMO need to look into how to build resilient supply chains. In this regard, we need to share expertise, research, and build strategies that will build internal and external capacity for member states. The concept of leaving no country behind needs to be dissected for its practical meaning. IMO needs to standardize measures on how to deal with communicable diseases, including pandemics, by member states. COVID-19 exposed the plight and immense challenges of seafarers globally. And in response, we agreed that there is a need for the IMO to develop international standards on how to protect and take care of seafarers during pandemic. It was also agreed that seafarers are part of the critical core elements in shipping, that as part of their protection, IMO must consider declaring seafarers as essential workers globally. The organization must also consider the global digitization solutions for the certification of seafarers and shipping. I know there are many areas agreed upon in both the plenary sessions and commissions, which will be reflected on the Secretariat report, which reflect the urgent need to advance the broader agenda of developing the maritime sector. We must express words of gratitude to the level of preparations, the quality of the discussions, and the manner in which these were delivered in the different plenary sessions and commissions, including throughout the build-up events. Your Excellencies, in our domestic context, South Africa has been a very active member of the IMO in various capacities and continues to promote the goals, aspirations, and objectives of the IMO. South Africa is one of the founding members of the IMO and has been elected as the member of the IMO Council under Category C since 2005. I can confirm that as South Africa, we have done some work towards greener shipping, hence the green transport strategy that was adopted by our cabinet. South Africa has adopted almost all the IMO mandatory instruments and domesticated them to national legislation. Those legal frameworks have assisted us in facilitating global seaborne trade and enabled us to perform our port state control, flag state, and coastal state responsibilities. Unfortunately, South Africa lost her seat as the IMO Council member in 2021. That unfortunate outcome has compelled us to realize that we have to take stock of our performance during the last elections and strategize on the pathway that can lead us in sailing back to the IMO Council under Category C. It is against this background that the government of the Republic of South Africa requests you as our partners and member states present in this event and those across the continent and the globe to support South Africa's candidature into Category C of the IMO Council during the next 2023 IMO Elective Assembly. Program Director, at this point, kindly allow me to thank everyone for sharing their time and knowledge with us during the past 3 days. My biggest gratitude goes to the Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization, His Excellency Kitak Lim. Your input and contributions to the growth of the South African maritime sector is surely being felt by all four corners of our country. You have indeed become a special companion, a compatriot, to the people of South Africa, Africa, and the world. We further express our gratitude to the IMO Secretariat staff. Our appreciation also extends to all representatives from IMO member states, in particular the ministers of Ghana and Nigeria respectively. Your Excellencies, heads of delegations, officials and technocrats from various governments, honorable members of the Portfolio Committee of Transport, led by the acting chairperson, Honorable Lisa Mangu, we truly are grateful for taking time to be part of this historical event. I thank all the facilitators, presenters, and participants who covered a variety of topics. To our state-owned entities and the private companies, especially the shipyards, thank you for showcasing the maritime industries and services offered by South Africa. To the South African Navy and the two schools, thank you for delivering a resounding rendition of our symbolic South Africa, African Union, as well as United Nations anthems. We also appreciate the presence of institutions of higher learning. We appreciate our distinguished speakers, various masters of ceremonies, for a stellar execution of their duties, and we appreciate the various artists who entertained us. I have been made aware that there has been chief executive officers, directors general, executive managers from across the entire world and local maritime sector. We thank you for gracing our country. It has been a wonderful experience to host you. I can confirm that we have indeed established new friendship and revived some that were possibly put on pause by the COVID-19 pandemic. It is our deepest hope that this will translate into working and sustainable partnerships or collaborations through which we'll share ideas that will have lasting positive impacts on the people of the world. Our words of appreciation and gratitude also go to all our sponsors who made this gathering a resounding success. We thank the following companies and organizations: Transnet National Ports Authority, South African Maritime Safety Authority, Ports Regulator of South Africa, Heroin Marine, AMSOL, SASOL, Moses Godane Institute, Mediterranean Shipping Company, South 32, South African Maritime International Institute, Nambiti Terminal, Linsen Nambi, Bid Freight Operations, DOMEC, Spiltech. We also appreciate our exhibitors. I must further add and underline that We met here because IMO as an organization approved that this event should take place in South Africa. My appreciation goes to Mr. Ntuli for presenting the proposal at IMO. Mr. Ntuli, your country is very proud of you today. We thank you indeed. We also want to immensely appreciate Mr. Sipho Mbatha, who is South Africa's alternative representative at IMO. I believe his immense knowledge and contribution has made South Africa, the African continent, and the maritime sector globally richer. Mr. Mbatha, intellectuals of your caliber contribute to building and growing South Africa. To the National Department of Transport Management and staff, led by the Acting Director General, Mr. Ngwakumakai, thank you for all the support and putting this event together. Our special thank you goes to the Maritime branch in the Department of Transport, led by Mr. Mthunzi Madia. In particular, I want to thank Ms. Tsepiso Mashilwane and of course, Ms. Glory. The steering committee, including all officials who form different work streams. Your hard work and commitment to the cause has ensured that we deliver a successful 2020 Maritime World Parallel event. South Africa is indeed proud of you. Last but not least, I want to thank our Minister of Transport, Honorable Fikile Mbalula, and the entire ministry for a job well done. Ladies and gentlemen, holding this event in South Africa was the right thing to do. The deliberations that unfolded during the sessions once again put the sharp focus on the need to have solutions for the global climate change challenges that we are facing as people of the world. It was quite correct to have the theme of green shipping for this event. And as I conclude, I wish to convey South Africa's heartfelt thanks to all of you. It is time like this where our national anthem gives meaning about who we are. We say, Nkosi sikelela i-Africa. God bless Africa. To the world, we say, we are Africans. So said former South African President, His Excellency, Mr. Thabo Mbeki. We owe our being to the hills and the valleys, the mountains and the glades, the rivers, the deserts, the trees, the flowers, the seas, and the ever-changing seasons that define the face of our native land. The dramatic shapes of the Drakensberg, the soul-colored waters of Likia, Igqili, Tukela, and the sands of the Kalahari have all been panels of the set on the natural stage on which we act out the foolish deeds of the theatre of our day. We are the grandchild of the warrior men and women that Hinza and Sekukune led, the patriots that Tetsoyo and Mpepu took to battle, the soldiers Mushweshwe and Gumbunyane taught never to dishonor the cause of freedom. Our minds and our knowledge of ourselves are formed by victories that are the jewels in our African crown. The victories we earned from Isandlwane to Kotamu as Ethiopians and as Ashanti of Ghana and as the Babas of the desert. We are the children of Nongawuze. We are those who made it possible to trade in the world markets in diamonds and in gold. Today, it feels good to be an African. It feels good. It feels good that I can stand here as a proudly South African. What we have accomplished today in this small corner of a great continent that has contributed so decisively to the evolution of humanity says that Africa reaffirms that she is continuing her rise and rises with her people. To our friends across the globe, congratulations and well done. You are now part of Africa. Together we are peoples of the continent of Africa in our motherland, South Africa. Iran, here we devote and declare to see you in your beautiful country come 2023. Nihambe kahle, samayang sinhle, bon voyage. Adios. Go well. God bless you. God bless South Africa. I thank you.